Tim Scott tells Obama to stay out of America current affairs. Obama's clapback stuns everyone. The room fell into an uneasy silence as the cameras flashed and reporters leaned forward. Sensing something was about to erupt, Senator Tim Scott, flanked by colleagues and political aides, extended a hand to former President Barack Obama at a high-profile leadership summit in Washington, D.C. But what was supposed to be a moment of polite diplomacy turned into a political earthquake. As they shook hands, Tim leaned in and whispered something no one expected. "You should stay out of America's current affairs. You're black. You've had your turn." For a second, Obama said nothing. The air tensed. But then, the former president calmly leaned in with a half-smile and delivered a clapback that would later dominate headlines. "Funny, so are you." What followed was a ripple effect that shook the nation through media, politics, and even within the black community itself. And this is the full story of that explosive moment, what led to it, and the unexpected fallout that neither man saw coming. Please support us by subscribe, like and share for more with activating the notification bell. Thank you. The scene was set in Washington, D.C., at a high-profile bipartisan leadership summit. The event was designed to unite political voices from both sides. During one of the most divided moments in modern American history, former President Barack Obama had been invited to speak about racial justice, healing, and the importance of civic responsibility. Senator Tim Scott, a rising voice in the Republican Party, was also in attendance, known for his often controversial take that America is not a racist country. Tensions had already been bubbling behind the scenes. Rumors swirled that Scott wasn't happy with Obama's recent criticisms of voter suppression laws and policing policies. When the two men finally crossed paths backstage, the media captured what appeared to be a respectful handshake. But what the cameras didn't catch immediately was the whisperer's sharp, loaded comment from Tim Scott to Obama that would soon explode across the internet. The expression on Obama's face said everything. The air in the room shifted, and while no one heard what was said in that moment, the truth would soon come out and it would shock the entire country. Just days after the summit, leaked audio from a hot mic exposed the explosive exchange between the two men. As the footage spread online, Americans were stunned to hear Tim Scott whisper, "Stay out of America's business. You had your turn. And besides, you're black, don't forget that." The phrase sent shockwaves through social media and news outlets. Hashtags like #UriBlack2 and #StayOutObama began trending within hours. A second angle from a nearby boom mic captured Obama's response, short but sharp. "Funny, so are you," he said, with a calm that felt heavier than any loud retort. Conservative pundits quickly rallied behind Scott, calling his remark bold and unapologetic. Meanwhile, progressive voices condemned the statement as internalized racism and a betrayal of shared history. The clip went viral, with millions replaying that 10-second exchange over and over. Suddenly, this wasn't just a disagreement between two political figures. It was a national conversation about race, identity, and how far leaders would go to separate themselves from their roots, rather than react with outrage. Barack Obama took a more calculated approach. A few days after the leaked audio hit the media, he released a written statement. It wasn't fiery or confrontational, but it was powerful, he wrote. "There was a time when someone like me couldn't speak freely in this country. I won't be silenced by someone who shares my skin, but not my values." The message hit hard. Then came a CNN interview with Anderson Cooper, where Obama expanded on his views. He said, "Being black doesn't disqualify you from leadership. It demands you lift others up with you, not close the door behind you." The words were clear, calm, and incredibly effective. Obama's supporters praised his restraint and wisdom, while even some of Scott's allies grew quiet. Scott tried to downplay the moment in a brief press conference, saying his words were misunderstood, but he never actually denied saying them. In homes, churches, classrooms, and barbershops across America, people debated, was Tim Scott trying to redefine black leadership, or had he simply crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed? As the story continued to dominate headlines, reactions came pouring in from every corner of the country. Student protests erupted at HBCUs like Howard and Spelman. One young activist went viral for her passionate speech in Atlanta. "Obama gave us hope. Tim Scott gave us a reminder that not all skin folk are kinfolk." Civil rights organizations demanded an apology, while some black conservatives defended Scott as a voice of independent thought. The media ran constant segments on the clash, turning it into a major culture war moment. Michelle Obama tweeted, "When they go low, we remind them who built the staircase," a comment many believed was aimed directly at Scott. On TikTok, creators reenacted the handshake and whisper, adding their own spins. Fox News defended Scott's right to speak freely, while MSNBC ran emotional interviews with black leaders, calling the comment a betrayal. Even the Library of Congress announced it would archive the footage as part of its digital record of political turning points. What started as a whisper had grown into a nationwide reckoning, one that revealed how fragile and how powerful racial identity still is in the highest levels of American politics. Weeks after the heated public exchange, Tim Scott quietly reached out to Barack Obama for a private meeting. There were no cameras, no press, just two men, black, powerful, and deeply different, sitting across from each other. While the details of their conversation remained mostly confidential, staffers close to the moment revealed that they spoke for nearly 2 hours, not just about politics but about legacy, identity, and the burden of expectation placed on black leaders in America. It's rumored that at one point, Obama leaned in and said, "You don't have to sound like them to lead like you." That line, though never officially confirmed, quickly spread through political circles and social media as a message of both challenge and encouragement. Days later, Timscott stood before a crowd in his hometown of North Charleston and delivered a speech that surprised many. He spoke of unity, growth, and the need to listen even to those we disagree with. "Leadership means learning," he said, "especially when it's uncomfortable." The moment wasn't a full redemption, but it was a step one that hinted at understanding, growth, and maybe even a shift in the story yet to come. What did you think about Obama's response? Was Timscott out of line or just playing political chess? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more powerful true stories from America's front lines of power, race, and redemption.